Hey guys, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and this time I am doing Despicable Me. Pretty good film here, as I'm pretty sure is aware with the craze of the Minions and of course Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2. Getting a reboot, or not reboot, but revamp in its popularity because of the Minions and um, with Despicable Me, there's a lot of great things that just came out of this. It was a fresh take on an idea where there was a down luck villain who was trying to make it big, and he tries to make it big again, and by stealing one of the best objects known to man, and it's all about like a stealing war between the two, and it's like for Gru, the main character, it's the moon, and it's about him stealing the moon in this film, and he's just a villain who tries hard, who probably was great at one point, is down on his luck and isn't as great anymore, and the Bank of Evil, you know, isn't wanting to fund him much anymore, and they're not wanting to really do much with him, and they're ignoring him, and he's really out on his own endeavors, and down on his luck. And the main character, who is right here, Gru, who is brilliantly voiced by Steve Carell, is trying to just get back on top, and his plan to steal the moon is a big one, and he wants to just use this to further his goals and to get what he needs to further, his great date in crime and be put into the name of the history books. And he, along with his assistant, who is not on the cover here, Dr. Nefario, who is brilliantly voiced by Russell Brand, and you can't even tell that it's Russell Brand half the time in the movie. There are instances you could tell that that's Russell Brand because his voice gets high like he talks in real life, and you could see how it's him. But like for the longest time, I had no idea that Dr. Nefario was Russell Brand. But anyhow, Dr. Nefario and Gru want to just make this happen to, get their names in the history books. And even though Gru's down on his luck, Dr. Nefario is very, very loyal to him. And with his help, his loyal followers here, like, I believe it's Dave and a couple of the other minions here, more on the back of the cover as well, as you could probably see, they try to help him accomplish this. And the minions, are, I don't want to say they are like a good main attraction to all three films. I mean, they are for the third one being that it's about the minions, but for the first two, they really did grow on people, and they really are a funny addition, and the things they do are ridiculous, and they have their own, unique, funny little language, and are actually voiced by, I think there's two directors here, like, yeah, Chris Renault and Pierre Coffin. They're voiced by them, and it's actually pretty entertaining to know that the two directors of the film, voiced the characters, and I think their producer voiced a few more. And it's just like the minions are just so great in the film, and they do have a lot of funny moments, and they really do love to help out Gru. And when Dr. Nefario tests the inventions, like the minions are usually the guinea pig, which is hilariously enough. And let's see, getting back to the main point, we also have Gru, who's just trying to find ways to get the moon. And he discovers that there is a shrink ray from the Bank of Evil that he could use to shrink the moon and to get it in his possession. And so he goes to get the shrink ray, and what happens is this new, young, hip villain who is pretty much after the same thing Gru is with the moon. Vector is his name. Tries to steal. Well, he doesn't try. He succeeds in stealing the shrink ray right out in front of him, and he evades Gru by shrinking Gru's own vehicle. And like him and the minions are just like on top of this little tiny thing, and it's just great to hear, or not hear, but great to see, and it's just really enjoyable to just witness that. And it's like, oh, I really hate that guy, and all that cool stuff. And Vector is actually voiced by Jason Segel, who I had no idea voiced him either. And it's really cool to see another big time comedian in there as well doing the voices. And so when Vector steals the Shrinkway, Gru tries to get it back and fails after several attempts to get it back by eaten by a shark, punched by a boxing glove, tries to get into Vector's fortress by the roof, but then saws come out to break his rope. He gets blasted by 100 million rockets, and every attempt is thwarted to stop Gru from getting in there. And he's at wit's end, and he's wondering what he's gonna do. And you have then these three girls. Let's see. Trying to think. I can't remember who else is a part of it, but I'm just trying to. Yeah, it doesn't even say on the back here. I'm blanking on their names, but there's two of the girls. There's Agnes, Judith, and Margot. I forgot about that. Agnes, Judith, and Margot. And there are these three girls who are a part of I believe it's Mrs. Hattie's school for orphan girls, and it's like a terrible place, and the girls are trying to get out there, trying, to get out of Miss Hattie's to find a home and a family that loves them. And they're doing it by selling cookies, so it's like sort of the prison camp of Girl Scouts. And Gru sees them, and he gets the idea to steal the shrink ray back so he could shrink the moon before Vector could by using these girls. And so what happens is he adopts Margot, Judith, and Agnes from Miss Hattie. And Margot is actually voiced by Miranda Cosgrove, which is pretty cool. Don't know too much about what Miranda Cosgrove is, but I have heard she's a great comedian and actress in her circles. So, no, I've heard. Don't know too much of what she's done, though. But when he gets the girls, he puts them in the home. He does not know really what to do with them. Like, he's feeding them out of dog bowls, like candy, water, and putting things down for them, treating them like dogs. And he's just trying to go throughout his day. And, at first, they don't like it there, and they're skeptical of things, and they just don't like the area, and they think it's a total botch, as does Gru. They're just being used. But eventually what happens is Gru gets in there, and in a hilarious romp of the minions almost botching things for him, and Dr. Nefario's robots that he had disguised as cookies basically help Gru break into the lab to steal a rocket, but then they seal Gru in, and Gru has to make this, great, hilarious escape attempt to get out of the building. And he succeeds, and he just says, okay, girls, that's it for the cookies that we're selling, let's just get you back home. And all three of them are basically still upset, and they're not into him at all. And Gru's not into them either, and he has this weird vision where he dances like a sugar plum from Christmas, and abandons the girls at this one theme park. But that's because they're headed to a theme park. There's this super fun land or something theme park that they're going to that the girls really want to go to, and he felt like ditching them there. But it's actually at that theme park when he helps Agnes win a stuffed unicorn from a crooked vendor that he actually is growing to love them, and he gets with them, and he just discovers what it means to have this good life and to possibly be good and to have actually a family, because we learn from Gru's flashbacks in the film that he was horribly treated by his mother, and wasn't really given any good positive reinforcement from the mother at all. Whatever he did, his mother was like, eh. And that's basically what you got. Which at a funny point, Gru's mother is voiced by Julianne, is it Julie Andrews or Julie Andrews? Julie Andrews, not Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews. And you wouldn't think Julie Andrews would play a role that's sort of like, I'm a mother who doesn't care, but she actually played that really well, and it actually worked for the film. And like we learned that that's why Gru probably took a shine to the girls, because he wants to give these girls a better life, and he actually, probably deep down always wanted a family and a better family life than he had. And a bunch of things will ensue from that. Now, as you guys know, I try not to give away the entire story all the time. Basically, there'll be a huge battle over the shrink ray, the moon with Vector and Gru, and like there'll be more bonding with the girls, and it's just like a huge, huge thing that goes on to it. And I just have to say that Despicable Me is a great film. It's got great, villain moments, it's got great gadgets. It's almost like you're watching a villain, almost James Bond type film in a way, and you have all the characters that do good, and other characters that also are in here voiced by great actors, or actors who voice great characters, sorry, are Kristen Wiig, Jack McBrayer, Will Arnett does a voice, and I know there's a few more that I think were of high note, but those are like a couple of the big ones that I know offhand. And the main thing is that this film is great, and it's actually got a great score composed by. See, I don't think it was. Well, actually, no, I think it was somebody who was pretty good, but see, let me just take a look here. Oh, Hector. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get lost there on track. But Hector Piorta, I think, did the music, and then Pharrell Williams actually helped do songs for the film, which actually work really good. And this is the film that's actually gotten me into liking Pharrell Williams more, because he did music for Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2. Don't know if he did anything for Minions. Haven't seen Minions yet, and you know. So, but the music's good. The computer animation is actually pretty cartoony, so it's pretty solid. Once again, you guys have heard me say how I do miss 2D animation. I still do, but for what this is, 3D has definitely become the new medium, as we all know. And it's actually pretty good, pretty cartoony. It fits really well, and the overall story, just has a good message. It's really fun, and this movie just like it makes you want to be a villain and like see like what it would be like if you were Gru, or what it would be like if you had your own minions. So altogether, it is just a good film and a great ride, and it's just good stuff. And before I end here, I do want to apologize, because I know I did say in my last video where I was giving you an update on what was going on that Despicable Me was next. I recently had thought that I had watched Shrek the Third quite a long time ago, and I had messed up, and I should have done this one this time instead of Despicable Me. Despicable Me should have been, I believe, after. Yeah, it should have been after Shrek the Third. But I will like reverse, and probably next time I'm on, you will see me do Shrek the Third, and I will take care of that movie. And so, like, till then, just leave me any comments that you would like to. Tell me what you thought about Despicable Me. Is this a good movie for you guys? Could you, like, have any films that are similar, or know of anything that, like, could be possibly better than this? Or what do you think of the series as a whole? And I know, and oh, sorry, almost got lost in another train of thought. But also, what I wanted to add was, Despicable Me will be the only one that I'll be doing right now, because as I told you guys before too, I'm only doing films that I own at the moment. So I don't have Despicable Me 2 yet. I would like to, or Minions. I'd like to get both of those, but they're not in my collection yet. So for right now, Despicable Me is the only one that I will be reviewing. But hopefully, I will get more later. But till then, guys, this is 012 Boku, signing off.